Hi, welcome to our webinar today. We hope that this webinar will help you become more successful at the 2017 International Home and Housewares Show. We've got a lot to cover for you, and there are an awful lot of opportunities for you to make the show more meaningful, more productive, more financially successful. And so we're going to get moving fairly quickly. There are 4 of us that will be speaking today. Here's our contact information. I'm Perry Reynolds.
Debbie Teschke. Dawn Whitman. Nancy Michael.
And you have on the screen all of our contact information. We are happy to answer any questions you have. Just so you know, a recording of this webinar will be placed on our website within about a day and a half of this webinar, maybe even less. And so if you miss anything, you can certainly go back and watch it later. We'll send you a note after the webinar. But maybe you have some compatriots who might want to listen to this as well. But our contact information is here, and we'll be happy to share that with you again later on toward the end of the presentation. But again, we're happy to answer any questions after the event. During the event, we'll also take your questions. There's a chat function on your browser that will allow you to submit questions. We have someone in who will be accepting those questions, and then we'll break into the presentation and ask those questions of us if they're appropriate, or we'll hold them to the end. But we're happy to entertain any questions along the way. If we haven't made something clear, please let us know. First thing we want to talk about is how to plan for the show. We want to make sure that you make a plan, that you have a plan, that your plan is very detailed, that your plan covers all of the things you want to accomplish at the show. It covers how you want to accomplish them, whether it's a list of buyers you have invited to the show that you want to see, whether it's what you want to talk about with each of those buyers when they come to the booth. I'm fond of telling a story about a company that exhibited the show a number of years ago that had a book that literally had 50 to 100 buyers in the book, and they talked about exactly what they wanted to accomplish with each buyer, so that if that person responsible for that retailer were out of the booth, they would be able to at least know what to speak to that retailer about. I think these are the kinds of things that are important for you to be ready to do. And lastly, to create a plan for what you're going to do with all of what you've learned at the show after the show. And we've got some tools to help you with that as well, and we'll talk about those as we go along. The show's going to help you in all the ways you think it's going to help you. I wouldn't discount international markets. The show will have a significant number of key international buyers there. Make sure that you're ready to, even if you're not doing international business, make sure you're ready to talk to them, because they will certainly help you do it. And a little later on in the presentation, we'll talk a little bit about how we can help you more with your international business. And then Debbie's going to talk a little bit later on about how to generate media exposure through the show and before the show. So here we are. We're going to help you and divide the presentation in sort of 3 ways: how to attract buyers. Inside of that, we'll talk a little bit about Housewares Connect 365, and Don will talk about how that can help you be more successful. And as I mentioned, Debbie will help us with the consumer media.
So the picture on your screen is the cover of the marketing kit. You all should have received this at the beginning of November. If you haven't, you can go right to www.housewares.org/marketing, and it will take you to the online version, which is meant to be used with the printed copy. So really everything you need you can find online. And we're going to take you through in depth all of the opportunities that are listed in this brochure.
And in fact, we're going to start by talking about how to attract buyers, and we'll divide it in in 3 obvious ways: what you can do before the show, what you can do during the show, and then of course, as I mentioned before, how to help you with your follow-up. I think the most important tool that anyone can receive from the show is the buyer list. And we actually share with you the buyer list for all of the buyers who registered for the 2016 show. And it has a number of characteristics in it, that things they tell us when they register, a number of things that you can use If you're capable of sortation in Excel, it's really simple to do. If you're not capable, let us know. We'll be happy to share a pre-sorted list with you. But retail channel, if you are focused specifically on one type of retailer, independent kitchen stores, for instance, there's a retail channel for that. The person's responsibility, whether an owner, a senior merchant, just a buyer, system buyer. They also tell us across 19, I think it is, product categories, what products they come to the show to buy. It's, that's not going to be complete in terms of all of the kind of products at the show, but most of them you'll find something that's close to what you're doing. So I would encourage you to take that list. It's downloadable at the address here. I encourage you to take that list, share that with your team, share that with your sales managers if they haven't seen it already, to get their input on who you want to invite to the show. One of the things you'll notice immediately when you look at the list is there are no emails there. There are a couple ways to get emails, but across the board, buyers have told us that, and we continue to ask the question, they've told us that they prefer that we not share their email. We know you'll be responsible, but I suspect there are an awful lot of people out there that just blast an email to everybody. We certainly don't want that to happen. But we recommend to you that of the people you wish to see, that in one way or another you touch them multiple times. We've had a couple of exhibitors tell us that 3 touches. We had a new exhibitor about 3 or 4 years ago who listened to the webinars and in fact came back to the webinars multiple times, decided on their approach, and their approach was 3 touches, and they used multiple methodologies. They actually made phone calls and invited people. They, of course, sent snail mail, which, believe it or not, snail mail does work. People don't get much snail mail, and they get even fewer faxes. And believe it or not, you can get their fax number if they gave it to us. Fax number is another way to do it. We'd also recommend that you incentivize them in some way, and we'll talk about some other ways to do it. But in your communication with them, why should they be stopping by your booth? Not just come on by, but you got a special, you got a new product, you've got a smart home product, you've got something that's brand new in your assortment, or you're brand new to the show, and you've got something you think can help them drive their business. Use those kinds of things to incentivize them to come in and see you.
So the next opportunity we're going to talk about is what we refer to as Housewares Connect 365. There's a couple of terms that we use interchangeably. HC 365, you'll hear us say. And Dawn's going to get into some detail on what this is, but she will refer to this as update your company listing. So I'm not trying to confuse you, but update your company listing is what you're seeing, the link on your screen right now. And this opportunity is as important as the buyer's list in terms of attracting both media and buyers to your booth. This is going to give you a full-on company profile where you can add images and video and press releases and all sorts of cool things in this tool, and we're going to get into that in a few minutes. We do know that buyers use this. We do several buyer visits, retail visits during the year. We have an advisory council. This tool, without a doubt, is used among some of the most important buyers that walk our show. So we also know that we have over 1 million searches on our HC365 site, and we definitely know that listings that have a robust profile page with catalogs and product images and show specials are often viewed 75% more than those without. So everything that you put into HC365 will transfer over to the mobile app, which we're really trying to promote this year at the show. This will be our 3rd year with our mobile application. Everything that you put into your profile page will transfer right into this, so buyers will have access on show site. So here are all the things that we list and why this tool can help you. Lets people search you by product, by keyword, lets people know who you are. We talked about catalogs, product images. If you've got something special like Made in the USA or Show Special, In-booth appearances, this is really big for our media. Our smart home opt-in, which is new this year. If you have products that are either sensored enabled, like a robotic floor vacuum, or you have something that's run through Bluetooth application on your smartphone, you have to meet the criteria in order to do this. We'll get into that in a little bit. And then ad information, company news, anniversaries, you know, anything that's important that the media might want to know about.
So how to update your company listing, you're going to want to go to www.housewares.org. You roll your mouse over the word show. You'll see it there in a red box. And you'll get a drop-down box, which you're then going to click on Exhibitor Resources. Scroll down to the center of the page, and you'll see the baby blue box that has the Housewares Connect 365 logo in it. And there's a darker blue box that says Update Your Company Listing. This is where you're going to click and enter your ID and seniority number, and it'll take you to the operational side of Housewares Connect 365, where you can enter in all of your details. You'll see on the left side navigation area there are buttons that you can click to update any or all of your information. And we're going to start with your company address, on-site contacts, brands and licenses, products, company description, product images, or catalogs. And then the second half of the box is your logo, company news, video, special marketing opportunities, and we'll talk about that a little more too. That's where you'll find the Made in the USA and the Smart Home criteria. You can also enter any in-booth appearances and enter a duplicate directory listing. We cover this section a little more thoroughly when we do our Housewares Connect 365 webinar, but this area would be for only wholly owned subsidiaries where you have a parent company that is not exhibiting. And then it'll take you to your sign-off and a nice little thank you note at the end. I'm then notified that you've completed your directory listing, and then I do the upload and I proof your spelling and grammar. So then I just wanted to cover a couple of things. If you're going to put up a catalog, smaller is better in this case. If it takes too long for a buyer to open up your catalog, then they're going to get bored and go away. If you have a full season catalog and you can divide it by product, images, or subcategories within your catalog, it's better to put up 10 little catalogs than one big one. Your catalogs also must be in a PDF format, and product images must be in a JPEG or a GIF. And if you're going to upload videos, they must come from the expanded YouTube link and not the little abbreviated link that you see like on the right-hand side over at YouTube. You can just copy and paste the URL directly into our website.
When you're posting catalogs and sell sheets, keep in mind this is a public site. This site, when searched, if someone's looking for blenders, this will often come up. So you don't want to list catalogs in there with wholesale pricing if you want to keep that proprietary.
And all of the information that you put into Housewares Connect 365 is searchable except for your catalogs and any PDFs that you put up for press releases and so forth.
That's right. If you have any special company news, anniversaries, or keywords that you want to be uniquely searched, they should be in your company description. Words that are found in PDFs cannot be searched through our search engines. Now, I just want to remind you, this is where you're going to go, www.housewares.org/show/exhibit/dir. And it's important to remember that your listing with Housewares is free. There are organizations out there that like to charge exorbitant amounts of money for a 3-year contract, and they say that they're affiliated with the International Housewares Association, but they are not. So be wary of the Fair Guide or Expo Guide solicitations. I'm going to cover a little bit about what the buyer sees when you finish your listing. I've just randomly used Casabella as a search. Casabella is a very good company to use as an example. They've used photos, they have videos up there. That orange plus sign means that they are offering show specials. So when a buyer goes into his briefcase, if he's looking for companies that offer show specials, he'll see that all the companies with those little orange plus signs are offering specials, and when they click on it, it holds that company into their private briefcase. This is Casabella's listing. If you're interested, you should go take a look at it. They've done an excellent job of capitalizing on all of the features that we have to offer. And you'll see down there that the International Business Council is part of Casabella.
So I will share with you, and we'll talk a little bit about it later. I mentioned earlier that there are thousands of international buyers coming to the show. And most of them want to know who's capable of shipping globally. We have a couple ways of telling you that, but but if you are interested in selling globally, you should join the International Business Council. We will offer a sign like this for your booth. We're actually updating that marker on the bottom of the last slide to say we sell globally as well. It's easy to join. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. You just have to fill out a little survey. But if you're a member and exhibitor member of IJ and an exhibitor at the show, I think this would be an excellent opportunity for you to learn more about how to sell globally, as well as to give buyers the notice that you do sell globally. Moving on, I would share with you that, and we've just been out visiting, as Nancy mentioned, we've been out visiting buyers. We've got one retailer that's so engaged in Housewares Connect 365 that they spend an hour with us on the phone talking about things we could do to enhance it for them. They use it very heavily. Each of their buyers, and I think they bring 14 or 15 to the show, has their own briefcase, and now they're setting up a group briefcase so they can talk to each other about what goes on. They also use it to find people on the floor while they're there. They can transfer all that information, as Dawn mentioned, to the mobile, or Nancy mentioned, the mobile app. It gives them the tools to communicate with you before the show, so that they can set up an appointment if they wish, or go look at your website. And of course, this is here year-round, and I would encourage you get ready for the show, that's great. But if you've got stuff that you're debuting at the show, you should probably make sure that you go back after the show or at the show to make sure that you've got those products on your website, on your Housewares Connect 365 listing as well.
So a couple of other things that you'll find in the marketing kit for during the show. We do offer some sponsorships. They're very limited. These can be found in our buyers clubs, which are in each expo hall. Our buyer cafes. Every buyer who comes to the show, we give a free lunch to, and this is a great opportunity. You can demo products in this and promote your brand. We have, as Perry mentioned, the IBC. We have an International Business Center for our international visitors to hook up on internet and host meetings and whatnot. And then there's also bus videos on the charter buses that take people to and from the hotels in McCormick Place. There's a video loop that runs where there's advertising opportunities as well as the outside of the buses.
There's information on how to get into all of these at housewares.org/marketing.
So the other big thing here, and this is actually one of our paid opportunities, is our new product showcase. These are located in each of the buyers clubs in each expo hall, so north, south, and lakeside. And what you do once you enter your product, it's a $300 price tag per entry. These products go into the Buyer Club showcases. Only media and registered buyers are allowed into the Buyers Club. So no exhibitors, no trade guests, only those 2 badges are allowed in, including you. When you drop off your product, you're not allowed in. We have a visual merchandise team that puts it together, and all your products are on display there. Here's a picture of it, with a card that has your company name and a barcode. When a buyer comes into the Buyers Club, they can scan any product they're interested in. When they leave, they receive a list of all the companies and booth numbers of the products they've scanned. And at the end of the show, you will receive a list of everybody who scanned your product for your follow-up.
The buyer also gets a list of all the products they scanned emailed to them after the show as well.
So the deadline on this is February 3rd, and the important part of this deadline is any new product that's submitted into the showcase. It has to be new, by the way. And that means if you launch it for the January show cycle, we still consider that as new. But any product that makes it in by the deadline is then considered for our IHA Global Innovation Award. And that is another program that's judged by a panel of expert judges in 13 categories. You get a special, if you make it as a finalist, we put in the Buyers Club a special case of everybody who's been selected as a finalist, and then we have a big award ceremony on Saturday evening in which we announce the winners at this gala. So the next 2 things here you'll see, so the IHA Global Innovation Award, if you click on that box, it'll take you through all the new product information. It'll give you detailed information on the whole program. The Color Watch display by Pantone is always located in our Lakeside Center. It highlights the color palette for 2018, which is unveiled at our show. And the products on display will, again, have your name and booth number. And this one, you apply to be in it, and Pantone actually selects, you usually send your catalogs, and they select the products they want you to submit to them because it's all done on color themes.
Even if you don't submit a product, access to Pantone's prediction for the colors coming up in the next 18 months are, I think, very valuable to exhibitors.
There's a picture of the Pantone display from last year. Okay, so during the show, our show generally is a top-to-top show, but we do have order writing at the show. There's, you'll hear from people that we're not a big order writing show, but there are plenty of people who write significant amounts of business at the show. If you don't have your own order form and you need one, you can go onto the website and download a generic form for you to use, so you're just prepared at the show.
One thing that I mentioned earlier when we were talking about how to get people to your booths, one thing I mentioned is show specials. Dawn mentioned that you can say that you have show specials in Housewares Connect 365. We don't want to know what they are. We want that to be between you and the buyer, but we do want to identify the companies that do offer show specials so the buyers could maybe hone in on them. But we are, so there's an opportunity on Housewares Connect 365 to do this. I would share with you that I've been tracking an exhibitor over the last couple of years who has tremendously grown his business at the show to the point where he was doing approaching $250,000 in show orders just because it was only available at the show. So I would encourage you to think about this as a tool for both attracting people to your booth, building business, writing business at the show. Some major retailers are probably not in a position to do this, but certainly independent retailers are. And I would encourage you to think about that as an option for making your presence at the show more meaningful for you. Another opportunity for you during the show is an opportunity to get one of 2 kinds of lead retrieval devices. One is a gun and one is an app. When you scan the buyer's badge, we presume that to be the same thing as exchanging a business card, and as a consequence, we will share with you the email address of those buyers that you scan. I think that's another way to get those buyers' emails. These are free to the first roughly 800 companies that wish to sign up for them. It is a very positive tool for you. Just as you did with the new product showcases, after the show, you'll get a list, but the buyer also gets a list of where he or she were scanned at the show. So it gives them another opportunity for them to initiate the follow-up as well. So we're gonna and this is what the page looks like on the marketing kit for you to sign up for those lead retrieval devices. We'd encourage you to do that. We think that would be a great advantage to you, and do it early. They may ask you for a credit card just in case, in the case of the scan gun, in case scan gun doesn't come back, but they will, of course, not charge you anything if you bring it back. So
here, this is signage. I'm going to start with the easy one, new for the home. So these signs, you can order as many as you'd like. They are delivered to your booth on the Friday during setup, and we see these all over the world, actually, highlighting new products in people's booth displays. So that's an easy one. If you've got new products, which presumably most of you will, please make sure you get those signs. It's a great identifier. Then if we move into the smart home and the Made in the USA, these are both opt-in signs. So Made in the USA, you have to certify through special marketing opportunities in HT365. You can also, they'll just take you to the same place through the marketing kit. And we believe in the honor system, so you have to check that you meet the federal guidelines of what Made in the USA is, and then the Friday before the show, you'll be delivered 2 signs. We don't have extras of these on site. If you're interested in this program, please go ahead and sign up for that. Do not hit Made in the USA if you don't meet the criteria. We get feedback from buyers who search this on HT365, and they're always very upset when they get to a booth when their product is not made in the USA. And then smart home would be the next one. And
Nancy, can I interject for one moment, please?
Sure.
We have 2 questions. If you could tell them, please, again, where to sign up for the app, the show app.
So the show app, what you want to do is you want to go to that update your company listing that Don talked about, which is the show app, and goes to the show app. Everything
if you're
looking to download the application, you need to go to you need to go to the Google Store on your Android or to iTunes on your iPhone, and then all you have to do is search IHHS 2017.
Right.
And your mobile application should come up.
Yeah, so it's just through your app store, how you would ever download an app.
And the app is now live for 2017. What's the other question, Jenny?
One more question. How and where, if you could repeat this for them, can you sign up for the lead retrieval unit?
There are a couple of pages in the marketing kit, and it's also on our website that gives you options for the free and for some more sophisticated options that have a charge for them.
Besides the marketing kit, you can access the lead retrieval order forms through badge registration.
So it's all everything to sign up for is online. The printed copy of the marketing kit is just another tool for you to kind of take you through the website. It's organized in the same order, so you can just kind of check them off as you go. So back to signage, the smart home product sign, again, is also, you can find it in HC365 under special marketing opportunities or through the marketing kit. And this will also give you criteria that you have to sign off on. Once you opt in on this, a couple of things, you'll receive 2 signs. Again, on Friday, there will be no extras on site. And you will also be listed in a special directory as part of our education series on smart home products. And then what I covered before, if you go to the website under show and exhibits, you can learn more about the special exhibit we'll be having on smart home products.
I mentioned before that we encourage you to have a follow-up plan in place before you get to the show. Shortly after the show, sometime in mid to late April, we will deliver to you an edited list of the 2017 buyers with the same criteria that we had that we have on the 2016 list. Again, you can search by retail channel. You can search by products that they came to the show to visit. It's a great opportunity to reach out to those companies you wanted to see, but you didn't get to see, and now you know who the people were who were there. So it's another opportunity for you to be successful after the show. Now over to Debbie.
All right. Now we're going to take a few minutes to talk about how you can reach the consumer through the news media who attend the show. And the show generates 350 million consumer impressions in the news media. And you may ask, what's a consumer impression? Well, I have a monitoring service, and that tracks all the print, broadcast, and any type of internet coverage, not social media, but internet coverage that we get from the media who attend the show or those that we're pitching to that write about it. And all I do is add up the circulation numbers from publications, the Nielsen broadcast numbers from any broadcast, and then any internet viewer numbers for various websites. And we add that up, and that's how we determine the consumer impression. Now, some of you may work with an ad agency or a PR agency, and they may use a multiplier of 3 because they feel like a magazine or a newspaper is passed along, or multiple people are reading a piece. And so they'll multiply their impression number by 3. We don't. Ours is plain and pure, and so obviously we're probably hitting a lot more people than we are than we have to see the numbers for. So I'd like to help you get be part of this these consumer impressions. Get your information out there for the consumer. I do have a team of freelance PR people who are working with me. Beginning this month, they're going to start pitching the consumer media to come to the show and cover it, the morning news programs, the magazines, newspapers, and to help us get that coverage of the show. Now, this is the page in the printed marketing kit that lists all the media opportunities. It's also on the website, on the marketing kit website under Attract News Media. And so I'm going to go through these services briefly to explain them to you. As Perry and Nancy talked about the services for the buyers, we're going to break this down to before the show, during the show, and then what you can do after the show. And here are several things that you're going to have to do before the show to get the media attention, to prepare, so when the media come to the show, or if they're looking up for new products and exhibitors before, this is a way to get to them. So the first thing I want to talk about is our show preview press event, and that is February 1st in New York City, and it's a great way to jumpstart your public relations efforts for the show. There's a couple of extra benefits in participating in this, but we do invite, or we'll have about 50 to 60 consumer and trade editors, bloggers, YouTube influencers who come and walk around and meet with the exhibitors and learn about their new products. A lot of the editors in New York for some of the magazines, they can't come to the show in Chicago, so this is their opportunity to see the new products. The event is limited to 60 exhibitors. You have to have booth space in the show, and right now I have 24 tables left as of right before this webinar. We will have additional press events in New York and London later this year. As an additional benefit of participating in this event, we will film a brief demonstration video of you talking about your products that we will post on our website after the event, along with the product descriptions and photos. And during the year, I will forward news media and buyers to these websites to look up this information. Here you'll see this is what the press event looks like. It's just a tabletop demonstration. You don't need any booth setup. We give you a 6-foot table, a covered table that you can display up to 4 new items. We also do a product catalog, and you will get the RSVP media list and the final media list after the event, so you can follow up with the people who didn't maybe come to the event. So if you have any questions, just let me know. But like I said, I have 24 tables, and we should be sold out before the December 16th deadline. Now, we also offered the show media list, 2016 media list, as we do with the buyers. And we encourage you to create this list for your pitching for the show and throughout the year. It's free. We do include the email addresses of the media if they allowed us to provide them to you. Some people said, no, I don't want you to give out the email, so we deleted that. But for the most part, most of the email addresses are there, and you would download the media list at the same place where you get the buyer list. So, and you also need your seniority number and ID number to log in. If you are a PR agency listening in on the webinar today, and your client has not given you the seniority number and ID number, please do not email me or Dawn asking for that information. We cannot give that to you because it is confidential to the exhibitor. So either ask your client for that information or have them download the list for you. The 2017 pre-registered list will be available in late February after we close off media registration, so you can go back to the same web page and download that list. And the 2016 list has over 400 names of both international and domestic media that attended the show.
It's a big list, Deb.
It is. Then one of the few paid services that we offer is the traveling media tour. And the traveling media tour can help you promote your products to the consumers. It goes in studio to about 10 to 15 cities across the country, and the tour will be done in early March. And it's formulated like a news segment on maybe a local morning program or their new news program. We have 2 reporters, one who will cover the western cities, the other who will cover the eastern cities, and they go in with the products and they talk about them and promote them as here are some new products coming up. Here's a sneak peek of the Housewares Show. The tour is limited to 6 to 8 companies, so you will have category exclusivity. So if you have a blender and you want to be in the tour, your competitor, one of your competitors or another company that makes blenders cannot be in the tour. This is done by a third-party vendor, Gigi Rubin at Newsmark, and her contact information is on the screen and also on the website. January 31st is the deadline to sign up for this. Also, this is the only media tour that is officially endorsed by IHA. You may receive emails or solicitations from other media companies that are doing media tours, or say the satellite media tours, or they say they're doing the Housewares media tour. They aren't. If you receive any communications like that and have questions about them, feel free to contact me. Now, if you say, Deb, I've looked through the marketing kit and you just offer so many services and we're a small company, we can't do everything, or I just don't have the time to take advantage of all this, the one program that I would strongly encourage you to do is the new product information for the news media. This information goes into your Housewares Connect 365 listing, and it is viewable only by the news media through their briefcase. So if you look up your listing in 365, or a buyer looks up the listing, or a consumer, they are not going to see these new product listings, only the news media and through their briefcase. They're free. You can enter as many listings for as many new products as you have. The media will begin searching for this information in February. We'll make it live for them. The deadline, we say the deadline to enter is February 17th, but the earlier you enter, the better. And you can still do it after February 17th, but as I said, the earlier you do it, the better. I wouldn't wait until March 17th because you've lost all that time before the show to promote it. Now, this is how you can sign up for it. There's, on the Update Your Company listing for 365, you'll see where it says Additional Marketing Opportunities. and then there's a link that says New Products for the Media. Click on that, and that will take you to the Marketing Kit page. And then this is the Marketing Kit page on the website, and just click on New Product Information for News Media. Now, the nice thing about this service is you don't need your company ID or seniority number to sign up. So if your PR agency is entering all this information for you, all they have to do is enter the exhibiting company name, and in the entry box, the system will find it. It'll pop up on the screen, click on it, and then follow the prompts. Now, here's a listing. We've gone back to Casabella again, and this is what, when you enter the products, this is what your administration page looks like. If you can see, Casabella has entered a lot of products. As we said, it's free. You can enter, if you're going to have 50 new products at the show, please do one for every product. There's 20 different categories that you can choose from to have the product listed under. And then if you need to go back and make any edits, you just have to go back to that marketing page, enter your company name, this page will show up, and then you just click on the link to make any edits. We also encourage you to enter a photo. You can only put one photo per listing, but as with, the buyers, anything that comes up with a photo, the media are more likely to look at. Now, another additional benefit of this is my PR team will be looking through these listings beginning in January, and they use this information. They look for products to promote to the media when they're pitching them. As I said, they're going to start talking to the morning news programs, the local TV stations, newspaper editors, the major magazines, and they're going to want to know what new products will you see at the show. Well, it's January. We don't know unless you tell us about it. So that's why I encourage you to start entering this information. The PR team will be looking at these listings, and you also may get a call from us asking for a sample to have it in the news center, because this is the list that the PR team reviews for that. Now, the second most asked question from the media is, after what's new, is what is happening at the event? Who are the celebrities that are going to be there? What celebrity chefs? Who's having an event for the media? And the way to let them know about it is through the special events product demonstration listing in your HC 365 listing. It's also called in-booth demonstrations when on your listing page. But it's the same thing, and through the marketing kit side, your PR agency can do it the same way, enter the information the same way as they do for the new product information by just entering the company name. You don't have to have a company ID or seniority number to enter the information through the marketing kit link. And this is how you would spread the word about the celebrity or the designer in your booth, any special events. If you're having something after the show, like a reception, you might want to list it. If you're doing a demonstration, just a product demonstration, list that in there as well so they know what's going on. Again, this is free. The deadline to enter this is March 17th, the day before the show, so everybody will know about it. Now, trade publications are a big component of the show as well, and all of the trade publications that cover housewares in some form do come to the show. They send their editors. And we have 3 services to help you get involved with the trade publications. First, we have a list of all the editorial contacts for each of the magazines on the website. So I would use this list to help you put together your pitching list and make sure you send them your product information. Secondly, we have new product editorial opportunities. As you know, the buyers read the trade publications, especially the pre-show and the show issues before the show, to find out about the new products. And the trade publications want this information from you. They won't know about it unless you tell them. It is a free editorial opportunity. All you have to do is send them your product information. So if you go to this link in the marketing kit on the website, we list the trade publications, their deadlines for submitting the information, who to submit it to, and then what their requirements are. We do this for both the U.S. trades and the international trades. The international trade publications have early deadlines. One was actually at the end of November, some are in December, and some are in very early January. So I would encourage you to look at this now and see which publications fit into your products. On some of the international ones are just kitchenware or tabletop. So some of our other product categories really wouldn't fit into that. But the requirements are all listed up there, so please take a look at that. And lastly, if you want to do some advertising in the trade publications, we have a list of all the deadlines for the trade publications up through the show, along with contacts, and you can contact them. Now, we also have online press kits. Some people have asked me, why, or do we have an online press room? IHA doesn't do one itself, but we have partnered with Virtual Press Office. And again, this is a paid service. It's not free, but you could purchase an online press kit. They have several packages available, including a small one where I believe you would get 3 documents for as low as $3.99. They also offer some other benefits and some add-ons because they are affiliated or they're owned by PR Newswire, so you can also get some Newswire distribution through various packages. Now, the nice thing about this is the kits get loaded whenever you load them up onto the website, and they will stay up there through next fall, so the media can download your information anytime from their office, from the show, they're on the road, wherever they are. Now I want to talk about some things that we do during the show. And the first is an area that is very near and dear to my heart. This is my big job at the show, running the news center. And the news center is where all of the media come. This is their headquarters, at the show. It's where they have to come to get their badges. It's where they'll pick up your press kits. It's where we'll have lunch for them. We have a continental breakfast in the morning. When they want to take a break from the show, if they don't go to one of the buyers clubs, they come back to the news center. We are located in S401 on level 4 of the South Building, which is very easily accessible to all 3 buildings for everybody. In the news center, we will put out your press kits for free. Whether you send me a paper kit, if you want to do a USB drive or a CD drive, we have containers for all of those, and we will put them out for you for free. The kit should include a press release, any photos, catalog sheets, or contact information. We also ship the kits back to the editor's offices free of charge. We have boxes for them to pack up the kits, and then we'll ship them out to their offices after the show closes. But we cannot send back your extra kits to you. If you want to come to the news center on Tuesday before the show closes, and any extra kits that we have, we are happy to give back to you for you to take back. This is what our distribution looks like in the news center. We have a wall with these clear containers, so it's very important that you put your company name, a photo on the front of your press kit, because that draws attention. In the kit, make sure you have the company name. Don't just have the PR agency name, because my staff will, when they check in the press kits, they always look to see who the exhibitor is. And if your PR agency name is prominently featured, like on the first page of the kit, they're not going to know who you are. So make sure that the exhibitor name is very prominent. Then if you want to do a press kit, but you say, Deb, I don't know how to write a press release, we have another service that will help you write a press release. And it's a paid service. It's $99 per release, which is pretty cheap. All you have to do is go online, answer some questions, a few questions. The system will put it together, and in about 48 hours, you will get a Word document that is yours to own and use however you wish. You can print it on your letterhead, post it in your website, put it on a CD or a thumb drive, post it as a PDF in your Housewares Connect listing. But it's done by a very reliable third-party vendor who is a very good writer, and she can also help you if you have questions about doing some distribution, because I know some of our smaller companies want to get this out to the media, and she can help you with that as well. So just contact her, and her contact information is on the website. Now I want to take a moment to talk about the news media that come to the show. We have media wear a blue badge. We kind of break them down by 3 types. News media, which is your traditional print, broadcast, and trade. Internet media, which is your news websites and your internet-based publications. And then bloggers, which are your mommy bloggers, foodie bloggers, YouTube influencers, and anyone who isn't maybe with the traditional media. Publicity is free at IHA. That's our philosophy at IHA, that it's free. If someone wearing a media badge asks you to pay for coverage, let us know, and we will not allow them to have a media badge. They would be a trade guest badge. And I try to vet the media when they register as much as possible, but sometimes people say, oh no, I don't charge, they'll lie to me and say, I don't charge for any coverage. And then they'll come, when they come to your booth, they'll say, oh yeah, we'll do a video for you, but you have to pay this little production fee. No, 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 no. That's not media, that's a trade guest. So let me know, and if you can let me know during the show, we can try and change them, or else let me know afterwards, and we'll make a note to make sure that they don't get media credentials for the following year. This year, we are also putting on the bottom of the badges the classifications for some of the other trade guest classifications. So you may see somebody wearing a badge that says consumer media, sales, and advertising. That would be your publishers, your sales reps, your advertising, marketing people, anybody who is on the selling side for a consumer publication. The trade publication is the same. It'll say trade pub, sales, and marketing. So that would be your sales reps and your publishers and your advertising executives and marketing people on the trade publication side. And those are the people that would be selling advertising, not somebody wearing a media badge. I do have a list of PR agencies that I've worked with over the years. If you are interested in hiring a PR agency, if you don't have one, please contact me, and I will be happy to share this list with you. Everybody on the list knows that I share it with our exhibitors, and it's full range. Or we have a lot of small and medium-sized companies, a couple of large companies, but I think they can all types of budgets would be able to fit into their services. So now, after the show, as with the buyer list, you'll get the 2017 show media registration list, and this will be available about 4 weeks after the show. And it'll be on the same page with the buyer list. I think the show contact will get an email saying that the lists are available, and with your seniority number and company ID to download them. We encourage you to use this list to follow up with the media who attended the show. And also take a look at the list, and if you see somebody on that list that you couldn't quite remember who it was, but they tried to sell you some advertising during the show and they're on that list, let me know. We encourage you to use the list as your year-round pitching list. Also, after the show, update your Housewares Connect 365 listing, because I do send the media there throughout the year. I will get a call or an email in June from an editor asking about new products, and I will send them to 365 to search. So be sure that you keep updating that. And then lastly, in June, we will have our summer press event in New York, and it's usually a holiday theme, and that would be an opportunity for IHA members to meet with the consumer and trade press and show them their new products coming out for the fourth quarter, the second half of the year, and that all-important holiday selling season.
I just wanted to jump in there and say your Housewares Connect listing will continue months after the show until we switch over to the 2018 exhibitors, which is usually around mid-October. So not only do you get coverage between the time you're assigned, you get it past the show all the way till mid-October.
Good. Thank you both. We're closing in on our hour limit. I just have a few more things to talk to you about that might be helpful for you. As a paid exhibitor at the show, you also have the opportunity to reach consumers through something we call the Inspired Home. And I would encourage you to go take a look at the Inspired Home. There are instructions on IHA's website on how to submit product for the Inspired Home. If you have any questions about that, let us know. We'd be happy to direct you to the right person on our team. One thing that you may know, but you may not know, is that we have something called the Power Hour, the first 3 nights of the show. The show closes at 5:30, but you can continue to have meetings until 6:30. We encourage appointments. We don't want buyers wandering around the show, but if you have a buyer that wants to come in at 5:30 for a meeting, you have an hour to conclude that meeting. At that point, the lights go out and the music comes on. And, another thing that is brand new this year, and I think a lot of people have asked for it, and including our buyer audience, is the ability to schedule an early morning buyer meeting before the show. There's information in your services manual about how to do that. We'll also be giving you updates on how to do that through your regular communications. You get exhibitor update to show you how to do that. You simply give us the names of the people that are going to be coming, when they're going to be coming, what day they're going to be coming, and we'll make sure that the security guards know to let them in early. We're also working on a tool that will help you do that on show site. So stay tuned for that, and we'll continue to communicate that to you through Exhibitor Connect. Housing is available through our official housing partner on Peak. You can register for hotels right there. We feel that these are the best priced hotels going. There are many excellent deals there. So take a look at that if you're about to make your hotel reservations, because I think that could be very helpful to you. Another reason people come to the show is to find a manufacturer's rep, and I will share with you that we give you a couple of opportunities to do that, to find reps that are digital. One is our Rep Connect, which is a list of all the reps who came to the show last year and all their capabilities. We also partner with the International Housewares Representatives Association, and they will help you find reps as well. In addition, they will be at the show, and there'll be an S101B, and they'll have a reps wanted, lines wanted board there. So if you're looking for a rep, you go down and visit Bill Weiner and his team in S101B, and they'll be able to help you. And the very last thing to do is put a sign in a booth that says reps wanted, and you'll get more attention than you ever thought you might want. So just a couple ways to get reps, because I know some of you come to the show to find reps. I think we've exhausted all the questions. Jenny, any more questions? Okay.
No, we do not have any more questions. They have all been answered.
Thank you. Again, here's a list of our phone numbers and our emails, and each of us would be happy to help you with anything relating to the show, particularly from a marketing standpoint. If we don't know the answer, we've got an expert on staff that we'll direct you to. Again, as I mentioned, you'll get an email shortly telling you that this webinar, which has been recorded, will be up on our website, and give you links to it in case you want to share it with other people on your team, or in Debbie's case, you might want to share it with your PR firm. But let us know if we can help you. That's our job, is to help you be successful at the show. Let us know if you have any questions, and thanks for attending today.